This is a very diverse community. A lot of us will come from another side of the world. We choose Pullman as our home. A lot of people, they choose to have children here because they believe that Pullman is a safe and perfect place for their children. If Pullman is our home, don't you think a home should be caring, friendly, and welcoming to everyone? I'm working really hard. I'm trying my best to make this mural happen. Because this is our home, this is our community. And to people of color like me who live in Pullman. I will always be with you. I will always work for you. I'm an artist, and I will always translate your needs, your idea in my visual language to raise your voice, to raise our voice.
Well, I mean, everything seemed like it was working out at first. George Floyd was on our mind at the time, and I think people were like, "Yeah, Black Lives Matter. We can roll with that." But as time went on, it just felt like the process was getting, you know, muddied intentionally, and we have evidence to believe so. We just felt that they wanted to say, "Oh, Black Lives Matter," they say it in public, but they were afraid to put it on that wall.
I just saw that May had created this beautiful image and didn't want to see it not happen. And I could see as an artist how just the whole experience of having her artwork voted on and then picked as the final selection, not chosen. You know, and this was a time where we couldn't hug, and all I wanted to do was just go over and hug her. And so I spoke with some other friends who had done murals to kind of get a sense of what it would take to get this mural done without the city, and kind of learned a little bit about the cost and asked if it would be okay to create a GoFundMe for this.
Yeah, Claudia and I, we couldn't take we couldn't stop looking at the GoFundMe. We would check like every 10 minutes, every 20 minutes, and it just kept going up and up and up, and we're like, no way, this thing is just skyrocketing.
Instead of having one mural, we're gonna have hundreds of murals all across neighborhoods and in yards and in windows and on bumper stickers on cars and on mugs. And so this beautiful mural is now kind of becoming this movement. And I'm really, really grateful. It hit some roadblocks. I think where it's gone has created more of a sense of ownership in the community than maybe we originally, or it was ever originally imagined. You
know, to see that beautiful mural popping up around town, some businesses are slowly starting to put it in their windows. You see it in yards, and it's going up on a mural. I don't know, it feels like, yeah, something meaningful and something that we can build on.
Public art to me is essential to a good community, and I think this has been just an incredible opportunity to get this thing started, kind of our inaugural project that deals, you know, head on in an unapologetic way about we're opposed to racism. We believe Black Lives Matter. We, you know, acknowledge that some folks have a more difficult experience in this world and in this town at times. And saying that doesn't mean that we don't care about this community. And in fact, it's the reverse. It's okay to be critical sometimes. And I think artists are sometimes naturally well suited to you know, introducing the spirit of critique into a conversation. And we're not shy about that, but that's because we care about this place and you know, we want it to be better.
I think the art community and artists in general have a lot of agency in reflecting and representing current times and social situations that we're all experiencing with a lot more speed and I think velocity than some of the other fields. Me personally, I think as an international student, as someone who's coming from a generation of African immigrants, I've enjoyed kind of breaking stereotypes down, especially someone that's grown up in the Middle East and still managing to find common grounds with people that have grown up in, a little town in Eastern Washington. And those kind of connections and dialogues happen through universal mediums like art and music and poetry and all sort of creative pursuits.
This part says, Pullman, you're welcome here. That's just like because people were driving from that direction into Pullman. So we want to send a message that says like everyone's welcome here. And the end of racism now, that's the theme of this mural. And the Black Lives Matter, that's our goal to like put it on. And I feel pretty good because the end of racism now and Black Lives Matter is on this side because people walking on that trail over there, that usually those are people go to WSU or people live in the community, so they will see this message directly. And all these colors, I like colorful stuff.
This mural is the first of its kind here in Pullman, so I think that's really, really amazing. Not only is it like visually inviting and pleasing to look at, but it's accessible to like everyone. Like children are drawn to it, adults can appreciate it. It's using color proximity in a really beautiful way. I just think the placement of the colors is great and just very, just draws you in from afar. So I think when people see it, it'll be inspiring for them and it'll be welcoming, like what the message is conveying.
I think it's pretty obvious that end racism is something that's that should happen all over the world. It's a pretty hard topic to talk about, but seeing people like me dying over senseless stuff, it's pretty tough. But putting a dense subject matter into a positive light and helping people understand, and children as well, like they passed by and they said, yay,
What are you doing up there? Making a big painting.
Putting those dense topics so children can understand as well as adults and bringing that balance is very important. This is gonna be up here forever, basically, and if those children, those adults down the line see that and racism isn't as prevalent or is non-existent by 50 years or 100, I think it's all worth it.
Yes, we finally did it and it feels so powerful and so meaningful. Why do we have to go through that? Just all this frustration and trouble we went through, that's a proof that being a minority, being a people of color, being Black is very difficult and challenging in this this society with racism. So that's also make our motivation even stronger to have some public art which is fighting racism and which is celebrated the life of Black people, celebrate the life of people of color, even more meaningful.
Yeah, I've seen the mock-up. I know what it's going to look like. Yeah, I even have a sign of the mock-up in my house. The End Racism Now, Black Lives Matter sign. I can't wait to bring my boys down to see it. I have a 7-year-old, and he's all too familiar with what it took to kind of get to this point, One minute I told him, hey, Daddy's working on the city having a Black Lives Matter mural. A few months later, I'm like, son, I think there's gonna be a Black Lives Matter mural, maybe, maybe not. And then before you know it, it was done. Whoa, look at that. This mural is more than just performative because it's a statement that says we all belong and we're doing the work, right? Yes, it's just a painting, But outside of that painting, it took work to get that mural on a wall. And it took education. It took us educating ourselves and getting to know each other across ideological lines, across racial lines, across different backgrounds, across even language barriers, right? So this is just a sign of the work that we're doing. I love it. So hit the letters. I get to paint the black. In the lines. Man, oh God. I feel like I'm a part of something, part of history, Pullman history. I'm grateful individuals really worked hard to bring this to pass and to see it coming to fruition and to be so close to completion is encouraging. And thanks to the support of the community and community members stepping up, signing petitions, voicing their desire to see a mural painted here in Pullman, we kind of fought through it. And it was a humbling journey because there was times I gave up on it. I threw in the towel, threw up my hands and said it's not going to happen, and it actually did. And that's the beautiful part about community. You know, whenever one person's tired and ready to quit, you know, someone else, another group of people keeps it going and carries the torch on.
The community is organizing book studies, different groups, Pullman Arts Foundation. I talked to someone, I'm like, you know, how do we make sure that this lasts? Or, you know, what do I do as a white person to contribute? She goes, just stay in it. She goes, you know, we're here, we can't get out of this. She said, just stay in it. So I feel like even though, you know, it's been challenging, it's time to celebrate a little bit and to know that we have more work to do.
Definitely super exciting to have it and see it up there and others to see it, you know, and know that they're welcome.
This last year, we saw people in our community really struggle and be very frustrated trying to get the Black Lives Matter mural produced. So I was super pumped when the Pullman Arts Foundation got started doing things, pushing down doors and barriers and raising money, and it just makes me feel proud of our community that we have people like that here, and so many want to get involved, and it's a beautiful thing. It can only be good for Pullman by all means.
The community support for this project has been incredible, I think. That really says something about the people. Like, a lot of people here really wanted that mural to happen.
The fact that this is a publicly funded and supported campaign just stands as proof that things are changing, and that really we are surrounded by a supportive community of people that are looking to be more inclusive and more supportive of people from different backgrounds.
I feel like Pullman is very community-based, and I feel like that's partially why we're doing this mural, because it's so community-based and we want to scream out that voice.
You know, I feel a sense of ownership with it, even though I'm not the artist and I'm not the painter, but just as a community member. And so I think every time I look at that mural, I'm going to feel a sense of belonging.
It's up to all of us. And I think that in 10 years, my sons will definitely feel like this is my home. I can honestly say I do feel like I belong in Pullman. Pullman's my home.